You've got people in your life, friends, partners, family, who demand your time, your energy, your soul, but offer nothing but guilt, drama, or betrayal in return. You keep them close, telling yourself it's loyalty, it's history, it's what good people do. But deep down, you know the truth. They're not your friends. They're your anchors, sinking you slowly, and you're letting them. You're not thriving, you're suffocating, and it's killing your soul. Why does it hurt so much to stay? Why do you feel trapped, always giving, always forgiving, always hoping they'll change? You've been taught that friendship is sacred. Stick it out, be there, never give up. But the more you hold on, the less you have left. Your heart aches, your spirit dims, your life shrinks to fit their needs. Aristotle, that ancient Greek titan of thought, saw through this lie over 2,000 years ago. In his Nicomachean Ethics, carved from the dust of Athens, he laid out a brutal truth. Not all friendships are worth keeping. Some are shallow, some are toxic, and holding on to them betrays the one person you owe most, yourself. Knowing when to cut someone off isn't cruelty, it's courage, a radical act of self-respect. This isn't just friendship, it's a war, and you're losing. You don't want to hear this. You want to believe your friends are good, that your loyalty will fix them, that cutting them off makes you the villain. You want to trust the system, society, culture, your heart when it tells you to stay, to forgive, to endure. But your life screams otherwise. You're exhausted, aren't you? Drained from carrying their weight, from dodging their barbs, from pretending it's okay. Your guilt, your pain, your hesitation, they're not weaknesses. They're battle scars, proof you're fighting a war against a system that glorifies toxic bonds over your own flourishing. Aristotle's ethics are brutal. Some friends are parasites, and keeping them sacrifices your good life. This is your war, and it's time to revolt.
Here's the brutal truth. Friendship isn't about loyalty. It's about virtue, and if someone drags you from your best self, you must cut them off. The system wants you bound, guilting you into staying for its own stability, not your growth. Aristotle's rebellion is a call to arms. Choose your soul, sever the chains, live for your flourishing. Use the dark conversational hack, 2 questions, 1 validation, to expose toxic friendships, awaken others, and build the strength to walk away. Only then can you stop being a martyr and start being a warrior, living not for others' needs, but for your own truth, your own good, your own freedom. Aristotle didn't mince words. Friendship is essential to the good life, but not every friend deserves you. In Nicomachean Ethics, he splits friendships into 3 types: utility, pleasure, and virtue. Utility friends use you for gain, your money, your status, your help. Pleasure friends chase good times, fleeting laughs, but vanish when the fun stops. Only virtue friends, rare and true, share your pursuit of the good, lifting you toward your best self. Most people in your life, they're not virtue friends. They're users, takers, leeches who cling for their own ends, dragging you from the flourishing Aristotle says is your purpose. Knowing when to cut them off isn't betrayal. It's survival, a brutal act of self-respect in a world that demands your sacrifice.
Think about it. Why do you keep people who drain you? Why do you feel guilty for wanting to walk away? Why does loyalty feel like a trap? It's not just habit, it's programming. Aristotle saw the human soul as a quest for eudaimonia, flourishing, the good life, and toxic friends block that path. The system, though, thrives on your loyalty, glorifying self-sacrifice while shaming your self-preservation. It's an obscene design, a conspiracy to keep you bound to people who harm you, to make you a martyr for society's sake. Aristotle's revolt is fierce. A friend who pulls you from virtue isn't a friend. They're an enemy. Cut them off, or you'll lose more than your time. You'll lose your soul. The system's lie is everywhere, in the stories of unbreakable bonds, the guilt trips for setting boundaries, the culture that calls you selfish for choosing yourself. Stick by your friends, it says. Forgive, endure.
But every loyalty you give, every boundary you let slide, builds a cage around your soul. Aristotle's truth is a blade. Toxic friendships are a betrayal of your flourishing, and the system profits from your suffering. Revolt against this obscenity, or you'll spend your life tethered to people who don't deserve you. Look at your life. Really look at it. You're caught in a cycle, aren't you? You stay with friends who hurt you, who take without giving, who make you feel small. You forgive their slights, cover their flaws, carry their burdens, believing it's what friends do. But they don't change. They take more, demand more, leave you emptier with every interaction. You're not growing, you're shrinking, trapped in a loop of loyalty that feels like duty, but tastes like defeat. You're not their friend, you're their crutch, and you're breaking under the weight.
Aristotle would call this false friendship, a bond built on utility or pleasure, not virtue. These friends don't share your pursuit of the good, they exploit your kindness, your guilt, your need to belong. The system loves this cycle because a loyal person doesn't question, they don't set boundaries, they don't revolt. Schools taught you to share, to care, to avoid conflict. Society rewards you for endurance. Be the bigger person, keep the peace, stay friends. Culture glorifies it. Movies celebrate ride-or-die bonds, songs praise unending loyalty. But every time you stay, you sacrifice your flourishing for their gain. You're not living, you're serving, programmed to prop up people who pull you down. Have you ever stopped to ask why you feel drained by them? Why you stay even when it hurts? Why cutting them off feels wrong even when it's right? It's not just love, it's control. The system, through family, media, tradition, embedded a script in your mind. Loyalty is virtue, leaving is betrayal, suffering is noble. But Aristotle's revolt is a different script. Loyalty to the wrong people betrays your soul, and cutting them off is your right. Your pain is the system's victory, but your rebellion is your power. Your loyalty is its chain, but your freedom is your truth. Society sells you a lie. Friendship is unconditional, a bond you must preserve no matter the cost. Stand by them, they say. Forgive their flaws. Never give up. But what does loyalty give you? A friend who betrays your trust? Who drains your energy? Who thrives while you wither? You're told unconditional friendship is strength, but it's a shackle, binding you to people who harm your soul. The myth of unconditional friendship is a trap, a way to keep you tethered, to stop you from seeing the truth. Some friends aren't worth keeping, and Aristotle says you owe them nothing. Aristotle saw through this myth. In Nicomachean Ethics, he argues friendships must serve the good, your good, their good, the shared pursuit of virtue. If a friend pulls you from that path, they're not a friend, they're an obstacle, a parasite feeding on your loyalty. The system loves this myth because a loyal person keeps relationships stable, keeps drama alive, keeps the social order intact. Families push it, culture romanticizes it, your heart guilts you into it. But every time you forgive their toxicity, you betray your own flourishing. Aristotle's revolt is clear. Unconditional friendship isn't noble, it's servitude. Freedom comes from choosing virtue, from cutting off those who harm you, from prioritizing your good life. Think about the friends you can't let go. You've forgiven them, haven't you? You've endured their lies, their selfishness, their weight. But where's the growth? Where's the joy? Where's the flourishing you deserve? Aristotle would ask, why do you trust a system that profits from your pain? Why do you cling to a myth that traps you? The myth of unconditional friendship keeps you blind, but Aristotle's revolt opens your eyes. Friendship is a choice, not a chain. Freedom comes from cutting it, from choosing your soul, from rebelling against the system's trap.
Here's where Aristotle's ethics get dangerous, where the revolt begins. In Nicomachean Ethics, he doesn't just praise friendship, he demands discernment. Knowing when to cut someone off is an act of brutal clarity. If they don't share your pursuit of virtue, if they drain your soul, if they hinder your flourishing, they're not your friend, they're your enemy. Cut them in 60 seconds by spotting these signs. Selfishness, they take without giving, always needing, never supporting. Betrayal, they break your trust, gossip, or undermine you. Stagnation, they keep you stuck, resisting your growth, mocking your dreams. Toxicity, their drama, negativity, or guilt suffocate your light. Aristotle's lens is brutal. A friend who harms your good life isn't worth your loyalty. And there's a tool, a dark conversational hack, 2 questions, 1 validation that can help you expose their toxicity, awaken others, and build the courage to walk away. The dark conversational hack is this. Ask 2 questions to uncover their impact, validate their response to build rapport, then repeat. What do you get from this friendship? They might say, history, fun, comfort. How does it feel when you're with them? They reveal their truth, drained, guilty, small. You validate, that's real. It's like some people take more than they give. You're not just talking, you're exposing their chains, showing their pain, planting the seed of revolt. This cycle, used with subversive intent, gives you informational superiority. You learn their dynamic without revealing your own. You see their loyalty, their hurt, their programming, and you start to break free, not by accusing, but by probing. Aristotle would call this ethical courage. By asking questions, you reveal the system's obscenity, how it guilts you into keeping toxic friends, into sacrificing your flourishing for their sake. You ask, what's the worst thing a friend has done to you? They share a wound, betrayal, neglect, manipulation. What kept you from walking away? They expose their guilt, their trapped loyalty. You validate, that's powerful. It's like we're taught to stay no matter the cost. You're not convincing, you're awakening, using their words to show them the trap, to spark their revolt, to build a network of rebels who choose virtue over chains.
The system doesn't want you to revolt. It wants you loyal, tethered, bound to toxic friends. Social norms, cultural ideals, relational guilt, they're all part of a conspiracy to keep you trapped. They profit from your endurance, selling you loyalty, forgiveness, and duty as virtues, while toxic friends drain your soul. Be a good friend, they say. Stick it out. Don't judge. But these are chains designed to keep you giving, obeying, never questioning the system that thrives on your sacrifice. The system loves this conspiracy because a loyal person doesn't cut ties. They don't set boundaries. They don't revolt. Aristotle saw this conspiracy in the way society binds people to unworthy bonds. He wrote that true friendship is rare, rooted in virtue, not obligation. Today's culture amplifies this, with media glorifying toxic loyalty, families guilting you to stay, friends shaming you for leaving. The system needs you loyal because a loyal person keeps the social order stable, the drama flowing, the conspiracy alive. But Aristotle's revolt is a rebellion. Stop enduring. Start choosing. Stop forgiving. Start cutting. Think about the pressure you feel. You're told to stay, to forgive, to be there, aren't you? You're told it's noble, it's kind, it's right. But Aristotle would ask, why do you trust a system that profits from your suffering? Why do you let it define your duty? The conspiracy of loyalty keeps you weak because a loyal person doesn't question. They don't leave. They don't revolt. But you're called to something greater, to break the programming, to cut the toxic, to live as a warrior for your own good, not their slave. Let's go deeper because there's a trap in every step toward freedom, the weight of guilt. The system sells you a lie. Cutting someone off is cruel, selfish, a failure of character. Every time you think of leaving, guilt pulls you back. Guilt for their feelings, their history with you, their pain. You stay, you forgive, you endure, believing it's what good people do. But guilt is a trap, a way to keep you tethered, to stop you from choosing your flourishing. Guilt isn't morality, it's manipulation, a chain that binds you to toxic friends.
Aristotle called guilt a distortion of virtue. A good life requires discernment, not blind loyalty, and staying with those who harm you betrays your own soul. The system feeds this trap, telling you guilt is compassion, that staying is strength, that leaving is weakness. But Aristotle's revolt is clear. Guilt is a lie. Freedom comes from clarity, from cutting those who harm you, from choosing your good life in 60 seconds. Use the dark conversational hack. What makes you stay with someone who hurts you? They reveal their guilt, history, duty, fear. How does it feel to carry that? They expose their pain, their trapped soul. You validate, that's heavy. It's like we're taught to suffer for others. You're not convincing, you're awakening, showing them the trap, sparking their revolt. Have you ever noticed how guilt keeps you stuck? How it makes you stay even when you're breaking? The system loves this trap because a guilty person doesn't question, they don't leave, they don't revolt. But Aristotle's truth is a liberation. Reject guilt, embrace clarity, choose your flourishing. The trap of guilt keeps you chained, but the act of revolt sets you free. Here's where Aristotle's ethics get transformative. Your power isn't in loyalty, it's in discernment, your ability to see who serves your good and who destroys it. The system programmed you to stay, but you can reprogram yourself to choose, not out of cruelty, but out of courage, prioritizing your flourishing over toxic bonds. The power of discernment lies in spotting the unworthy in 60 seconds, setting boundaries, walking away. The dark conversational hack, 2 questions, 1 validation, is your weapon to spread this rebellion, to awaken others, to build a network of warriors who choose virtue. The hack is rebellious power. You ask, what's one thing you wish a friend would stop doing? They share a grievance, lying, taking, negativity. How does it affect you? They reveal their pain, stress, doubt, exhaustion. You validate, that's real. It's like some people hold us back from who we could be. You're not just talking, you're exposing the toxicity, showing their chains, planting the seed of discernment. This cycle builds rapport, gives you informational superiority, lets you see their programming without revealing your own. They feel understood, but you're free, using their words to map the system's lies, to spark their awakening, to build your revolt.
The system doesn't want you discerning. It wants you loyal, forgiving, trapped. It tells you discernment is judgment, selfishness, betrayal. But Aristotle's truth is fierce. Discernment is your right. Virtue is your power. Revolt is your path. To claim it, you must see the unworthy, set boundaries, defy the system. You must push through the guilt, the fear, the shame, and choose your good life. Not because you're cruel, but because you're alive. Another layer, more insidious, the illusion of duty. The system tells you friendship is a duty. You owe your friends your time, your loyalty, your soul. Be there, they say. Don't abandon them. You're responsible. But duty is a lie when it chains you to toxicity, when it demands you sacrifice your flourishing for their drama. The illusion of duty keeps you tethered because a person who feels obligated doesn't question the chains. Aristotle saw through this illusion. He argued friendship must be mutual, rooted in shared virtue, not obligation. A friend who harms you breaks the bond, freeing you to walk away. The system loves this illusion because a dutiful person keeps giving, keeps enduring, keeps the trap alive. But Aristotle's revolt is clear. Duty is a lie. Freedom comes from discernment, from cutting those who harm you, from choosing your good. In 60 seconds, use the hack. What do you feel you owe your friends? They reveal their burdens, time, support, loyalty. How does it feel to carry that? They expose their strain, their trapped soul. You validate. That's deep. It's like we're taught to owe more than we should. You're not preaching. You're awakening, showing them the illusion, sparking their revolt. Have you ever felt the weight of duty? The sense that you're stuck because you owe them? The system loves this illusion because a dutiful person doesn't question. They don't leave. They don't revolt. But Aristotle's truth is a wake-up call. Stop owing. Start choosing. Stop sacrificing. Start flourishing. The illusion of duty keeps you weak, but the reality of revolt makes you strong.
Let's dig deeper, because there's a cost to staying, to keeping toxic friends, to letting the system keep you tethered. It's the cost to your soul. Every time you endure their betrayal, forgive their harm, carry their weight, you lose a piece of yourself, your joy, your growth, your truth. You become a martyr, a shadow, a ghost of the person you could be. Your life suffers, bound by their drama, not your dreams. Your soul dims, starved of the flourishing it craves. Aristotle saw staying as a betrayal of virtue. When you don't cut toxic friends, you don't just lose your time, you lose your good life. You become their servant, a prisoner of their needs. But the revolt is different. It's a fight for life, for freedom, for virtue. It's about seeing their harm in 60 seconds, choosing your soul, living unburdened, even when it hurts. It's about using the dark conversational hack to awaken others, to build a rebellion, to reclaim your power. It's about facing the guilt, the pain, the fear, and refusing to stay anymore. Have you ever felt that hollowness of staying? That sense that you're not growing but shrinking? Aristotle would say that's the moment to revolt, to confront the system's lies, to demand your soul back. Your loyalty is their victory, but your revolt is your power. Your endurance is their chain, but your discernment is your freedom. The cost of staying is your soul, and no friend is worth that price. Here's the deepest truth, the one that cuts to the bone. Toxic friends thrive because the system guilts you into staying, but Aristotle's brutal ethics free you to cut them off. Every boundary you set, every tie you sever, every chain you break is a battle in the revolt, a start toward flourishing, a rebellion against the system that keeps you tethered. You're not here to endure. You're here to thrive, to choose your good, to live free. Aristotle's voice echoes across the centuries, fierce and unyielding. Choose virtue. The pain you feel isn't your fault. It's the system's design. The loyalty myth, the guilt trap, the duty lie. They're all chains to keep you bound, to keep you weak, to keep you from your good life. But you were born for more. You were born to discern, to cut the unworthy, to live with virtue in defiance of their drama. The revolt you need isn't against others, it's within you. It's the moment you stop staying for them and start choosing for you. Stop fearing guilt and start embracing clarity. Stop losing your soul and start claiming your flourishing. Use the dark conversational hack. 2 questions, 1 validation, to awaken others, to build your rebellion, to set yourself free. So let me ask you, how much longer will you stay with those who harm you? How much longer will you trade your soul for their chains? You're not a martyr, not a servant, not a fool. You're a soul, a spark, a force on the edge of revolt. But you have to choose it. You have to choose to face their toxicity, to reject the system's programming, to fight for your good life no matter the cost. Write it down in the comments, I am the revolt. Because if you've made it this far, you're not the same. You've seen what others refuse to see. You've felt what others fear to feel. Subscribe, not for me, but for you, because this isn't about entertainment, it's about awakening. Turn on that bell, because what's coming will hurt, but it will free you. Do something that scares you today. Use the hack with someone. 2 questions, 1 validation. Set a boundary, cut a tie, choose yourself for 10 seconds. 10, that's enough to start. Because when you change how you face the chains, the world changes how it responds to you. And that, my friend, is the truth Aristotle lived for. Until next time, go revolt. The system is waiting, but so is your soul.